Most people thought the neighborhood owned the valley, the lakes, the roads, even the surrounding land. They were wrong. When my uncle passed away, I inherited something unexpected: 1,300 acres of land, including property surrounding the entire community. At first, I thought there had to be a mistake. So I verified everything. Every record confirmed the same thing. Decades earlier, developers built homes in the valley, but much of the surrounding land stayed under a long-term lease, a lease my uncle owned. The HOA president was Linda Parker. She acted like she controlled everything. Most residents believed her, until ownership records surfaced. A few weeks later, Linda received formal notice. The lease was expiring, and ownership had officially transferred to me. Panic spread quickly through the board. Many had never read the original agreements. Others assumed they would never matter. Now they mattered a lot. I hired attorneys immediately, not because I wanted to fight, because I wanted facts. And the facts were clear. The contract included rent provisions, adjustment clauses, renewal terms. Everything had been recorded years ago. Linda demanded answers. She insisted the HOA couldn't be affected. I simply handed her a copy of the agreement, then watched her expression change. For the first time, she realized the documents were real. The community sat on leased land, and the lease was ending soon. Within days, an emergency HOA meeting was called. Residents wanted answers, and Linda suddenly didn't have many. The meeting became chaotic almost immediately. Residents wanted to know how nobody noticed the lease. Some blamed the board. Others blamed Linda directly. I wasn't there to threaten anyone. I simply explained the facts. The lease was ending, and a new agreement would soon be necessary. Many residents saw the documents for the first time. The realization spread quickly. The community didn't own the land beneath several shared facilities. The lease controlled access. Linda insisted there had to be a mistake. She claimed the HOA had permanent rights. Unfortunately for her, the contract said otherwise. To avoid confusion, I invited a county property attorney. He reviewed the agreements publicly. His conclusions matched mine exactly. The attorney explained every clause, every signature, every renewal condition. No one could dispute the paperwork. After the meeting, my advisors reviewed the numbers. The existing lease rates were decades old. They no longer reflected market value. The reports showed a significant difference. Land values had increased dramatically. Taxes had increased. Maintenance costs had increased too. A week later, the HOA received my proposal. Everything was professionally prepared. Nothing was hidden, and every number was documented. The board immediately called another emergency meeting. Several members looked stunned. Others looked angry. Everyone focused on the same page. That's when they saw the adjustment. The new lease rate was 3 times higher, not because of punishment, because that's what the updated valuation supported. Linda immediately accused me of retaliation, but the numbers came from independent evaluations. The documentation was public, and the calculations were easy to verify. For years, the HOA acted as if it controlled the valley. Now reality had finally arrived. The land had an owner, and everyone was about to learn what that meant. The reaction was immediate. Homeowners weren't angry at me. They were angry at the board. Most had never been told the community operated under a land lease. Questions came from every direction. Why wasn't the lease disclosed sooner? Why hadn't the board prepared for renewal? And why did nobody see this coming? Linda refused to accept the situation. She hired attorneys. She searched for loopholes, anything that might challenge the ownership records. The county reviewed the records again. Every deed, every transfer, every lease agreement. The results remained exactly the same. A public presentation followed. Officials confirmed the land ownership history. The documents were authentic. The lease obligations were valid. Inside the HOA, pressure was building fast. Board members reviewed budgets. The numbers looked worse every day, and nobody agreed on a solution. For the first time, Linda looked genuinely concerned. The ownership dispute wasn't going away. Residents were demanding accountability, and support for her leadership was beginning to disappear.